if we haven't met, my name is Dave Dixon. I live in Northern California, and I do love California. Thank you for finding me. I wanted to talk today a little bit about silver, investing in silver. So this is from my own experience. Once I got out of college in 1983, I really wanted to start collecting silver. It was more for just the value of it and just looking at a physical item, in your hand, rather than just a statement from a bank. I don't think you should be, buying silver as an investment if you don't have your emergency fund, which is 6 months of your income. But a lot of times people have a hard time saving money. And the reason is they take the money out of circulation, and they may end up putting it into a savings account. And then because it's very accessible, sometimes they'll end up having to take that money out and use it for expenses. And so, can you really say that you saved anything if you're putting away $500 and then you're taking it right out? I think the issue is trying to put the money in there and not having to touch it, not be able to touch it. So I've told people over time, ask them how much they think they could save. And sometimes they'll tell me things like $300 a month or some crazy $400 or $500 a month. And yet they haven't saved anything to this point. So I'll usually tell them something along the lines of, if you can save, say, $200 to $400 a month, how hard would it be for you to save $50 a month? Oh my gosh, Dave, that's way, way lower than what I could save. I said, well, I think you should try to save $50 a month, but this needs to be $50 that you don't touch. So that's the difference on it. And what the reason is not the dollar amount that you're going to end up with the accumulation of $50 a month, but it's to create the habit of saving. That's always the hardest part, is to create the habit. So once you have a habit formed where you're taking so much of your check and putting it into account, and I do recommend that you just start out really small, especially if you haven't been able to save anything. Think of some amount that you think that you could save, and then go half on it, and just save that amount. The problem with it a lot of times is that there's always things that come up that you may want to spend the money on, and then there's the savings that you had, it's gone. Or sometimes you can increase debt on a credit card, thinking that, I am saving money, but you've put $50 in the savings, and then you spent $200 on your credit card. Okay, the net loss is $150, so you haven't saved anything. So another method or a way to be able to save, first off, is the emergency fund. You have to have 6 months of your salary saved up. That may take you a year or 2 years to do, but that's the first thing, because emergencies are going to come up. And then I've mentioned before, when you go to buy food at the supermarket, buy a little bit extra, especially canned goods and ones that you don't have to refrigerate. So I guess I'm talking mostly about canned goods, ramen, that kind of thing. And all you're doing in that case is you're putting it away at a lower cost, because we know cost just keeps going up and up and up. And you are eventually going to use it. So that's deferred spending, meaning that your savings there is really just deferred spending. You're going to spend it in the future, but that's what you're doing. And then the third way is to look at buying things like silver. I like silver coins, and I like American Eagle. And I'll tell you why. The first time I started buying silver, you can get the lowest silver with what's called junk coins. These are usually silver coins that they have no numismatic value to it. They're hard to even read sometimes. You know, they're not anything special, and you get a big bag of it, and it'll usually be the cheapest way to go. But if you have to sell it, it's also the cheapest way that you're going to get money back, because they're obviously not going to pay you as much. Then you have a lot of different silver places out there. I know one that I do like is called Sunshine Mint, and I have bought silver from them, but you'll see you're buying the silver more for the silver value. And so when you go to sell it, it may be hard to sell it because it's not a well-known brand, and everybody is always worried about getting fake silver coins. And these are 1 ounce coins. So for me personally, I like the American Eagle, and I just like that mint. It's really well known. If you want to get a little bit cheaper versions, you can get older prints of it, you know, where the coins are made in 83 or something like that, for instance. They're typically going to be a little bit cheaper, but they are American Eagle. And so that's what I've done for myself. Now, when I want to sell it, a lot of times I'll buy my American Eagle on eBay. They deliver it to me, and I know sometimes might be concerned because they're sending $200 or $300 worth of coin at a time, but I'm really not that concerned about it, and it's always insured. So I don't have a problem doing that. But when you go to sell it, you're going to have to sell it at a coin shop or a numismatic shop, someplace that buys and sells silver. I have a couple of them, one in my hometown and one in a nearby town that I've gone to. Actually, I've probably gone to like 7 or 8. And when I go in there, I do like to buy American Eagle from them. They're going to be a little bit higher because it's a regular store. But when I've had to go back and sell some of my coins, I never had a problem selling it back. And it's always been in a time where I've been in a little bit of duress, so I really needed to get that money. And so by having the coin tubes of American Eagle, it's always been really easy for me to go in and then get the money back. So now normally when you go in there, if you're paying a premium on a coin, then you may be paying like 10 or 20% higher than what the price of silver is. And you're paying for that mint, for the company that minted it. And then when you sell it, you may be selling it closer to the price of silver. So you see you've got that 20% difference there, and that's what the coin shop is making. Now you can definitely go on eBay and you can try to sell your coins that way, which I always thought if I ever had to sell all my coins, I probably would sell it that way over a period of time. But as long as I have it, it's like having this intrinsic value of instead of having money, it's actually silver, which is the commodity. It's used not only for jewelry and things like that, but it's also used in industry. Actually, quite a bit of it is used in solar panels. So it's something that they have to continue to mine, and that I think will make it so that it's going to be valuable. Very similar to gold, but where gold is $2,000 an ounce, silver is more like $30 an ounce. So some people call it the poor man's gold. I don't think of it that way. I just think it's easier to work around with it. Now, it'll react quite a bit to inflation. So when you have inflation going up, then you'll notice that the silver is going up too. It's based on the expectation of what the value of the dollar will be. So even though I have silver and I want it to go up, I'm not looking at it as an investment like it's going to go up so much per year, because the price of it is based on the manufacturing costs and also inflation. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to hold value And if we get into a situation like, say, worst case scenario, the whole world goes down the tube and the dollar's not worth anything, you know what I'm talking about. You see it in the movie. Well, a lot of times maybe silver might be a monetary unit that you can use, to buy things. I mean, it does have a value right now, and that value will tend to skyrocket during really bad times. So that's my ideas on silver. That's why I collect silver. I've been doing it since 83 mostly, but I did a little bit before. And I still have all the silver that I bought. I just buy it, put it away, and then I'm always kind of shocked whenever I do look it up and how many ounces that I have. It's always nice to see that it has a lot of value to it. You do have to secure it in a great place, because it is possible if somebody were to steal your silver, then they could easily go and turn it in too. There's a requirement in California, at least, where you've got to provide your driver's license. And if somebody stole something from you and they try to take it into a numismatic dealer, they have to make sure, they'll ask you where you got it from. And so maybe somebody that's a thief, that might be harder for them. So best thing is to put it in a safety deposit box, or maybe a safe at your home, because you have to remember, it's almost like money, except one coin would be worth about $30 instead of a dollar bill. So you have to treat it like money. Don't leave it laying around. It needs to be secure. And then I think I have you start to accumulate it. I believe there's 20 of them to a tube, so that's 20 ounces. So that would be $600. So once you're getting, like, say, a tube, that does make you feel really good. Like, wow, that's a lot of value right there. And so you can use it if you ever need to, but you can also have it just so that you can store it away. And I think it will be a good way to save money where it's not easy to get back to it. So thank you very much for looking at the video. I hope this was helpful in some way to somebody. And if you're a silver collector, let me know. If you're going to start saving silver, let me know. Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe if you found this valuable. And I'll look forward to seeing you again. Thank you much, and have a great day.